Hello, fellow Absolvers. Let's talk about 111 and 112 and how they've changed the game. What's good? What's bad? Let's find out. So as you know, in 111, they released a whole bunch of sweeping changes and improvements to existing systems. They expanded prestige systems, they added private matches, they added anti-cheat, they added, finally, 3v3 combat trials. There's a lot of stuff to go over. Let's dive in. Let's go one at a time. And let's start with the new expanded prestige system. They added a new way to get gear and weapons by paying fragments in this little shop for specific items, so no more random rolls. They're expensive, but you do get what you want. I love this system. I hope they expand upon it in the future where they keep adding more unique gear to this list. And I hope they add some older gear to it as well, because right now there's things I want that I cannot get, and I was hoping when they added this particular feature that I'd be able to get things that I haven't had yet through Rift Discs and Rift Coins. They also expanded upon their emote wheel, so now you can customize it with these emotes that you buy with crystals. The fact that they're purchasable for crystals is kind of annoying because I want to use those for other things like buying Rift Discs and Rift Coins. But you can buy emotes now, and some of them are pretty cool. They were going to add dyes in 111, but they couldn't. There was a problem with it. But in 112, they added it in. That's why 112 is part of this video. So you can now dye any piece of armor into 6 different variants of its color. While that doesn't seem like a lot, they can still expand upon the system with more colors. Masks aren't included, so you can't dye your masks different colors. Even masks that you think you should be able to, like the Forest Dweller mask, you can't dye that one. So there's still room for improvement with the dye system as well. Like they can add more colors and make the colors more distinguished. Like, because right now some pieces of armor, when you put a specific dye on, they don't look that great. But there are some that look fantastic. So they're doing a good job here, I think. 6 colors, not a lot, but again, they can expand upon it and make different, even more vibrant and weird colors later down the road. They have a baseline now, and I can only see this getting better unless they start charging for more for dyeing your clothes. Because right now it costs fragments to dye your clothes. But if they keep it relatively cheap, then there's no reason that this system can't get better and better, honestly. Alright, let's talk about the other big update they added in these 2 patches. 3 versus 3 combat trials are here. They are still technically in beta, so there's changes that will happen, but everybody can play. It's a crazy good time, very chaotic, very unpredictable, and I'm really enjoying it right now. I've played like probably 5 or 6 different ones, so you know, my opinion might change over time as they play it more often and see how it actually affects the game as a whole, but right now I'm really enjoying it. The mode has 3 people versus 3 people fighting over different capture points on the map. You stand in the capture point like normal capture the flag type thing. You stand in it for a little bit of time, it becomes yours, and then you fight in it until the full timer or circle fills up, and then it's yours. You claim it, the circle goes away, a new one spawns. So there's a lot of things happening, a lot of difficult things to understand, but the most part is you go to the circles, you fight in the circles, you keep the circles until it's done, and then you go to the next circle. That's it in a nutshell. It's very simple. A little more complex than a standard capture, because usually the capture points are static and they're always one spot. These will disappear and reappear in different spots as soon as somebody completely captures them. It leads to a lot of shenanigans. Right now there are some problems with it. It feels like the lag is pretty bad, honestly. There are points where it's like you try to use your defensive ability and it feels like you hit the button right, but it comes out way later than you expected it to, so some input lag happens. There are times when people are a little teleporty going on depending on your connection. It hasn't been too bad with this, but it seems like connections are going to be a big problem like going forward, and they're going to keep fixing it, I'm sure, but it's a little red flag. It is still in technically beta, but still. And another thing that I'm not too thrilled about is how long it takes to get into a 3 versus 3 match. Now I play in weird times. I play in the morning, I play maybe late at night, but never in like what we would call peak hours, right? I'm not playing at like 7 or 8 or any of the time when most of the community is actually playing. So when I want to find a 3 versus 3 match, it takes forever for me to find anybody to play with. Oh boy, it's a long wait. And then when I get in the match, I want to replay, and that doesn't take as long since I already have some people, but eventually people start leaving because it's taking so long to find the rematch, and that's a problem. And that is mostly because the population of the game is not that great. The sale they recently had with 50% off was a great idea, because now we have an influx of new players, but they're not going to enjoy playing against the veteran players for very long in this 3 versus 3 mode. So another problem is it splits the player base between 1v1 and 3 versus 3. That's one of the reasons why it's taking so long to find a match. Some people are playing 1v1, and with a small population, it's hard. You can't split it that much. And this is going to be a problem that they're going to constantly be fighting if they keep adding new modes that split the player base. And it's a problem that other games have had. For Honor, as its population dwindles, like certain modes become less and less popular. I stopped playing that game a long time ago, but I'm sure it still has similar problems. But all in all, 3 vs 3 looks like it's a lot of fun. And that's what I basically have to say about this 111 and 112 updates. I mean, they added some bug fixes. They nerfed parry. They nerfed gravity a little bit. They did a lot of stuff, and I really appreciate the thought they're putting into all these changes. Now, I hope they continue on this path, adding more and more good things, and promptly. I wish there was a little more transparency, because we didn't know this patch was coming out until it was kind of out. But they're doing a good job. Slow Clap is doing a fantastic job, and I wish them all the best. I'm really, really psyched about this new update. A little worried about the population decline, but hopefully this update will bump us up to back to where we were. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. I have been Skillless. This is Absolver, and I'll see you next time.